Yes, this is Adunola, and welcome to the numerological number 1 year. Now, a lot of people will say it's not New Year's yet. New Year's is in spring, it's at the spring equinox, and I totally agree with you. But since this is the year 2017 according to the Gregorian calendar, and that's a calendar we use when we're signing checks, when we're scheduling things this year, our collective consciousness has agreed that it's 2017. So 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10. We don't count the 10, we don't count the 0 in numerology, we count the 1, but the 0 intensifies the 1. So it is a mega number 1 year. And the good news is it's time for new beginnings. It's time for makeovers. Not because it was January 1st, the day of Janus, not because the spring equinox is the real New Year's, which will even intensify this number 1 year even more, but because 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10, an intensified 1. So we have now entered into the realm of new beginnings. Welcome to all who have survived. I hope that you are not just surviving, but thriving and standing tall. Now, before I begin this video, which might be a little lengthy, I will advise you to pull out paper and a pen because there's going to be lots of information. That's why I have my notes transcribed here. This is part intuition, part just what I've studied all these years with astrology and numerology, but definitely some good things to keep in mind for this year. Now, a lot of things that I'm going to discuss, they happen every year. Like, say for instance, last year during the number 9 year, there were a lot of big heads that passed away and went to the realm of the ancestors. Now, people pass away every year, we know this, but in the 9 year it was more prevalent. So the things that I'm going to discuss, the advice, the warnings, and the good things that you should think about embarking upon, they will be more fertile for you to embark upon them this year. So please take notes so that you can keep these things in mind when you're planning for your year. I hope at this point that you're not just living day to day, going around in a nowhere circle like a ship without a compass, but that you are pre-planning. Now, we can plan and things can go whatever way, but it's at least good to plan and be prepared, because this year, the theme card for this year is the Ace of Wands. It's a tarot card if you don't know about the Ace of Wands, and it's all about taking action, taking initiative. We were the hermit, we were in our closets. In the number 9 year, we were reclusive, many of us, but now it's time to come out of the closet and it's time to come out with your gun swinging. But you have to be prepared, and your arrow has to be pointed in a focused direction, not just shooting aimlessly, but pointed at a direct direction. Please also understand that this is not a tarot reading video, but I will be using certain tarot cards to help describe my points. I will also be using the elements of air, water, fire, and earth to further illustrate those points to make it plain for you and easier. So let's get into what the number 1 is all about. The number 1 in numerology is considered a masculine type number. It's a number, it looks phallic if you look at it. It looks like an erect phallus. Also, that's why I'm using Ace of Wands to further illustrate my point. Ace of Wands is a tarot card, just a side note in case you didn't know. And number 1 in Ace of Wands is all about taking initiative, taking action. We were in our closets and reclusive in the number 9 year and reflecting, but now it's time. Everything that we germinated last year, everything that we prayed about and thought about, it's time to take it forward and stand up and take initiative and action, because this will be it's a year that will be aggressive, but it's a year also where you are to assert yourself if you want to be successful. If you don't assert yourself this year, then closed mouths won't get fed.